Welcome back! Welcome back. It is once again DarkOnyx versus Ghuldor Bacon. We are currently in Game 12 of this best of 13. Yoon Baki here, or just Yoon, did win the last game, keeping DarkOnyx alive. But if BC Drutosity manages to take him out, it will be over. Ghuldor Bacon will take the title of victor of this clan war. Having a bit of discussion about if Nani was the best or not. He's definitely way better than me, no question about that. Anyway, so Yoon is going to head on out. Apparently Yoon doesn't like playing against Terran. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention Drutosity is Diamond. And also the leader of Ghuldor Bacon. So, we'll see if he manages to knock Yoon off of his perch, or if Yoon manages to take it to a deciding Game 13. Oh yes. So Drutosity, of course, starting his wall off here. Hasn't taken any gas yet. Wouldn't be too terribly surprised. Bacon community. Oh, so that's what it is. That's fun. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see Drutosity just go for a pretty typical 1-Rax gasless fast expand. That'd be pretty standard versus Protoss. Yoon, on the other hand, getting a gateway up, getting an assimilator. Yoon is indeed Asian. That would explain the name. Certainly makes sense. Drutosity, I'm going to assume, is Caucasian. Because this was played on the NA ladder, and I'm pretty sure most of the people there are Caucasian. I'm going to find out he's like African American or something. People are going to accuse me of being racist. Even though my best friend is half African American. So, anyways. Speaking of that best friend, random interesting story. He is currently teaching Korean. Or not Korean, excuse me. Teaching English in South Korea. I mixed that up. And yeah, that's what he does for a living right now, so that's pretty cool. It has been an adventure for him. I have really enjoyed just hearing about South Korean culture and just his experiences there. South Koreans are like insane, man. Their kids go to like 3 different schools. They'll go to like the main state school, and then they'll go to like cram school, and then they'll go to night school. And my friend teaches at one of these like night schools. Yeah, Koreans are insane. And I would kind of argue the work-life balance is just a bit off, but we won't go there. Actually, that's kind of the reason I think why Koreans tend to be so incredibly good at this game. They really take that attitude of, well, I want to be the best, so I'll practice this 12 hours a day with half an hour taken for eating and drinking. You know, and then, yeah, you know what I mean? And, I mean, it really shows. The best Koreans are unbelievably good. But anyway, getting back to this game, I guess I should pull up the production tab. So Drutosity is indeed getting an expansion. And yeah, he did get that started before the gases. Throwing down 2 gases now. Pretty typical. And getting 2 more barracks. So we're going to see pretty typical bio play out of him. Yoon, on the other hand, getting his expansion going as well. And throwing down 2 more gateways. So, pretty typical so far. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a robo added on before too terribly long. Getting another gas assimilator because Protoss do love their Vespene gas. Because only Zealots is not a viable strategy, even though only Marines is. Yeah, balance. Anyways. But, I mean, it's interesting though. And that does fit with the Terran kit of having mules as their kind of economic advantage. Every race kind of has a way to get an economic advantage. Protoss can chrono boost workers out faster. You know, Zerg can do larvae inject and make literally nothing but workers out of 100% of their production. And Terrans have mules, which get them lots of minerals, which allows them to produce proportionately more mineral-heavy units, or rather more mineral, well, just more mineral-based units than the other races. So, and I've always found that cool, how the races are very asymmetrical. You know, there's certainly similarities, like, you know, barracks build infantry, gateways build infantry, but the mechanics of that are all very different, and I love this game. It's so cool. So much more interesting to me than, you know, your run-of-the-mill you know, RTS where the two sides are identical. It's like, well, this race has the Scorpion tank, and this race has the Nephilim tank? That doesn't make any sense. I need to think of an animal analogy. And this race has the Eagle tank, but then, like, they deal the exact same amount of damage, move the same speed, have the same health. That's just not interesting to me in the slightest. The only game I really enjoyed that came even close to that sort of methodology was Empire at War, in that every unit had kind of an equivalent on the opposite side, but they all kind of worked differently. The Empire units all weren't as strong in, like, a head-on-head fight. You know, like, the Rebel units tended to just kind of hit harder and have stronger shields, but then a lot of the Empire units got free fighters, the bombers, out of their hangars, and then whereas the Rebels had to build them, you know, separately, and they would cost resources, but then the Rebel fighters were stronger, so that game was a lot of fun. I mean, the only reason it was really fun was because, come on, it's Star Wars. That's the only reason you enjoyed that game, if indeed you did enjoy it. If it had just been, like, you know, generic sci-fi race 1 and 2, no one would have cared, man. But that game was a lot of fun. Anyway, getting back to the game. Oh, Dark Shrine again. So Yoon does love his Dark Shrines. Has Brutosity seen this? No, he has not. And we do have a Warp Prism coming out as well. So he's going to be able to warp in those Dark Templar, well, wherever he wants. I think he'll warp in some here, and then load them up, move out, and then be able to warp in more there. Yep, that does make sense. That way he can make full use of that Warp Gate. Oh no, he canceled one of the Dark Templar, phasing out his Warp Prism just a half second too early. That's always rather embarrassing. I've done that myself. I'm like, run in. I'll warp in 8 Zealots into his mineral mine, then phase out the Warp Prism and get it out of there, and I'll hit the return to flight mode like half a second too early and cancel all 8 Zealots. I'm sure this has happened to pretty much everyone. It is the worst feeling ever. Oh, man. And here we go. Got the Observer ping letting me know what I do already know. And yep, warping in some Zealots as well to assist. Unloading those Dark Templar. Dark Templar look like they're heading for the mineral line. Zealots are just here to distract. I'm not sure I like the strategy as much because the Zealots get the attention immediately, whereas the Dark Templar wouldn't. But oh, is he going to get the reactor? That would be a nice little snipe. Oh, doesn't get it, but it might burn down. Dark Templar have gotten a few kills, but I don't know if it's been quite enough to justify. Where did the other one go? There were 3 total. Did they all die? No, there's still 3. Oh, yep, the reactor did indeed go down. Oh, no, that Dark Templar walked just into the scan range. How embarrassing for him. But he's dead now, so he can't feel embarrassment anymore. So it's okay. And got a scouting factory seeing that, nope, there is no third. More scans going down. And I'm not sure if this has gotten quite as much traction for Yoon as it did in the last game. And wow, take a look at those supplies. Brutosity up nearly 40, 50? Or whatever, yeah, 40 supply. I'm so good at math, guys, yeah! But, yeah, he's up really far in supply, and that's really the thing about going for Dark Templar. You sacrifice so much money getting those out, and they're rather expensive units. Unless you deal a ton of damage, it's, you know, it's not really worth it. You kind of set yourself back. But it looks like for the moment, Brutosity isn't attacking. He is posturing about, maybe looking to go up this way and then push into the third. That would make sense. Or gearing up for a Mega Drop. I'll have to keep an eye on that. And looks like we got the Warp Prism coming in again. I do think Brutosity has seen it though. Yep, moving his army back. We'll see if this manages to do any damage at all. And oh, getting out of there. And oh, okay, just gonna drop the 1 Zealot. And then maybe pick it up and save it. Or let it die. Yep, letting it die. Okay, well at the very least he's pulling into Brutosity's army out of position. And it could be he's just trying to buy time until he can get more tech. He has gotten High Templar. Storm is on the way, very nearly done. And if he can get a decent number of Templar with energy, that will deal very well with his Bioball. And it will really come down to Brutosity's micro, whether or not he will survive. Now that said, he does have a lot of Marauders in his army. So those, of course, do tank Psionic Storms quite a bit better than Marines. But on the other hand, Yoon has a lot of Zealots. And Zealots are pretty good against Marauders. I mean, Marauders can kite them for a long time. But charge lots do tend to do quite well. Single stalker going to be sacrificed for the cause and see that, yep, there's an army here, guys. I now return to the void. And so let's see, is Storm done? Yes, it is. Not all the Templar have stormed yet, but here we go. Oh, charge lot going in and Storm going down, singeing his own zealots a little bit. And oh, this is looking quite bad for you. And another Storm goes down, doing quite a bit of damage. Zealots are wrapping around everything. That army's starting to get quite threadbare. Very low in health. How many Zealots are left? I can't even tell. Okay, now it's just the Archon who's going to die. And Yoon definitely on the back foot at this point. You're going to need to mount some really great micro here to make a comeback. My computer can't even handle this. Immortal being sacrificed for the cause. And Yoon really struggling at this point. Some more High Templar have been morphed in, but they don't have Storm yet. And there goes one Storm, but the rest of these High Templar are just being sacrificed. And Yoon in so much trouble. His opponent is doubling his supply right now. And Brutality decides to take a coffee break before continuing attacking. Here we go. Brutality pushing it once again. More than doubling his opponent's supply. Yoon just in so much trouble. Trying to warp in more stuff. But, yeah, Yoon just put too much into that Dark Templar fight. And it just didn't pay the dividends he needed. And, yeah, I would be... I mean, I don't like calling the game too early, but... this is going to be incredibly difficult. Does he have anything out? Not really. I mean, he's getting another Immortal. I feel like maybe he should at least get 1 or 2 Dark Templar in the mix. At the very least, to force Brutality to burn Scan. But here we go. Another battle. Probably the last one. Zealot's getting bottlenecked on the ramps just a little bit. And, oh, they're just being... they were dancing back and forth and not dealing damage and all died. Got a single Colossus on the way, but when your army is 1 Stalker, 1 Immortal versus 21 Marines and Marauders and a lot of Medivacs, well, you're going to have a hard time with things. I feel like at this point, Yoon needs nukes. That's what he needs. If he had nuclear missiles, he'd be fine. Because he'd warp a nuclear missile directly into the opponent army. Wouldn't that be a totally awesome skill? Warp a nuclear missile and it warps in like 2 seconds and then explodes? Oh, that would be cool. But anyways, Brutality cleaning everything up. Well played by him, and Ghuldor Bacon does indeed win this matchup between DarkOnyx and, of course, Ghuldor Bacon. So well played on their part. DarkOnyx not quite strong enough to take him down, but they put up a respectable fight, in my most humble of opinions. So thank you guys for watching this clan war. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be returning to my more regular pro match casts, but I like featuring the community from time to time, so I did. So yeah, see you guys in my next video. Which who am I going to feature at next? I'm not too sure. I'm probably going to check the Team Liquid website and see if they've got a new replay pack featuring one of their players. I do like those ones just because it's very focused and you can really get a sense of the play style of a player over the course of all those games. So yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. See you in the next video.